Our next presenter is Paul Moon, and Paul is from the Psychology PhD program. And Paul's presentation is entitled The Impact of Atypically Timed Blue Light on Mood and Emotion. Are we ready with a timer? Are our judges ready? Are we ready online? Okay, the timer will start when you begin.
So rates of depression have been on the rise. And while there are many factors that contribute to this, one of them may be exposure to atypically timed blue light through screened devices. Now, humans evolved under very consistent lighting environments. There was a long period of light, a long period of dark, and these critical transitionary periods in between. Now, importantly, these transitionary periods might have been particularly risky, as during these periods of the 24-hour cycle, both day active and night active predators might have been out in the environment, thus increasing the risk of predation. So identifying accurately and quickly this time of the 24-hour cycle might be particularly important. Also important about this transitionary period between day and night is that the light that reaches the surface of the Earth is blue saturated. Now, we now know that information about light is projected more broadly throughout our brain than we initially thought. Of importance here is that information about light is projected to mood and emotion regulating regions of the brain. Now, also important is this pathway from your eye to your mood and emotion regulating regions of your brain is specifically sensitive to blue light. So it might be this pathway that we evolved to identify this risky period of the 24-hour cycle to get us ready for a predator in the area. We're sort of just generally height of being prepared to take care of something in the environment that's risky. And activating this pathway outside of the times of the day that we had evolved to sort of predict or pick up on it might have impacts on our mood. Now, we already know that blue light can have impacts on our mood. So individuals with depression, if you present a blue light early in the morning, can have an antidepressant effect. But what my lab argues is that the opposite might also be true. If you present this blue light late into the evening, this could have a depressive effect on the individual's mood and emotion. And this is where my work comes in. So we already have some data to suggest that exposure to blue light can have impacts on your emotional state. We had participants come into our lab and we exposed them to a series of facial expressions, and they either identified the expression under a bluish light or a non-bluish light. And what we found was that when participants made mistakes, they tended to be negatively biased. So on any given trial, when they made a mistake, they were more likely to misidentify an expression as a negative one. And this might sound trivial, but we know that individuals with depression make similar mistakes when they're identifying facial expressions. They're negatively biased. We are currently analyzing data to understand the longer-term impacts of atypically timed blue light exposure in a rodent model. And we expect that animals that are exposed to blue light later in the evening versus no blue light at all versus blue light in the morning will not only behaviorally show correlates of depression, but their brains will also develop similarly to what we would expect from an individual with depression. And these data will be critical as we continue to move further and further away from the lighting environments under which we evolved as a species. Thank you.